everyone. It is very, very early in the morning here. I'll apologise up front. My dogs are out and they hate the mailman, and I'll probably bark through this. Alright, today I'm going to make a B6 planner. I'm going to use this white vinyl. I'm going to be making one for myself and one for the shop. I'm going to use the white vinyl inside and out because it's easy to clean. I love white. White doesn't love me, but I love white. So we'll get started by cutting this. Now, because of my shop, because of what I do, I need an extra thick planner. So this is going to have 6 strings instead of 4. I will do 6 strings for both of them. So I'll cut them both exactly the same. Now, I have here, for a B6 is 5 by 7, 5 inches by 7 inches, or 4.9 by 6.9. Now for a TN I would normally do 7.5 to 7 3/4 high by 12 wide. Now because I'm going to put the extra 2 strings in, I'm actually going to make that 13.5. I can always trim it back if it's too much, but I'm going to do it 13.5. It's easy to cut it back than add. You can't add on. Alright, so put this aside. Get my cup of tea and let's get started. Now I have this wonderful ruler. It is 24 inches long, makes things a lot easier. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my phone ringing and I'm not going to answer it. Okay, so 13.5, wow, that's big, isn't it? Okay, now my marker has disappeared. I had it right here just a minute ago. This one will do. Now, I will be marking it with this red pen. It's just an art line fine point. It will clean off with nail polish remover. But if I'm lucky and everything works out well, I won't need to because I'll be cutting right on that line. So there's 13.5. by 13.5. Okay, I've marked that at about 8. I'm going to cut it there at 8. As I said, it's easier to cut off than to add on. Well, you can cut off, you can't add on. So 8. I'm going to turn my lights on, sorry. It's a bit dull in here this morning. We're in winter. It's winter here, and it's a little bit dark. The wind is absolutely howling outside. I'll only cut out the one now. I'll cut out the other one later. Here in Australia, our winter is mid-year. It's normally September is the cold and windy one, but this year it's July. Alright, so there I've marked out 13.5 by 8. I'll just turn this around so I can cut it. You can cut vinyl with your paper trimmer. If you're lucky enough to have a small piece that would fit in there. Just realised there's a cut line on the other side. Yeah, that's all right. So I'll trim this bit off after I've cut this. Okay, here we go. Oh, too late now, can't turn back now. So I am cutting the two pieces out together, the front and the back. It makes it easier for gluing. It'd be a lot easier if I had better scissors. Alright, I'll just throw this on the floor. No, over on my pile of rubbish over on the other desk. Okay. So you can use heat and bond with this, with the vinyl. Works wonderfully. You can use tacky glue. I'm going to use tacky glue. I know I tend to use that a lot more. That's because it's handy. Okay, so we'll trim off this bit here. Now, I'm thinking with the other one, I have some black suede. I'm a bit rough on my planners. That's why I like to do vinyl front and back. Eight inches. By 8 and by just over 8. That's fine, I'll trim it up after. Okay. Now, this has got a fabric on the inside of the vinyl. It's sort of like the knit of a t-shirt, but it's not. So, good old tacky glue. Oh, actually, how much have I got left in this little bit? Oh, quite a bit. I thought that was nearly empty. Okay, another thing for the bin. Oh, I'm having a good clean out. Yay! My husband would be so thrilled. Last weekend, I had a very busy weekend. And we had oh, I've lost it. I was going to say something. Doing demonstrations and sales. Actually had a wonderful time. Oh my gosh, I sold so many things. I've got some orders to do. I prefer not to do orders because people can get very picky. I like to do what I like to do. Alright, so I have covered from edge to edge, smoothing that out. I'm just using a plastic card. about the size of an FPOS card, a Visa card, but it's not, it's just a plastic card that I use. Alright, now that's pretty much covered. Oop. So then we put this on. Oh, I've made a mess of my desk again. Do it every time. Oh, I should have got that down earlier. Good old paper towel. Okay. Alright, that went very well, very easy. Now using the two pieces of vinyl, it gives it sort of a medium stiffness. Quite often I will back the vinyl with felt, of which I actually have none of that at the moment. Tomorrow's shopping day, tomorrow we're going to town, getting some more. I can start filling my orders. Alright, so that is pretty well stuck down. Now I do one light row of sewing around the edges. I'm going to leave this one square, maybe not, I don't know yet. But I do one row of stitching, so I will pause the camera, wait for this to dry. I will do the one row of stitching before I come back. Okay, so there we go, that's the two pieces stuck together. I'll wait for it to dry, I'll do the row of stitching, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, back for a bit. It's still not completely dry yet, but I've decided to put a couple of pockets, one on either side, on the inside. So because I'm making two, I have cut off a piece of the offcut. I've cut it 8 inches by over 8 inches, a little bit. As I said, always better to cut big than small. So when I'm cutting small pieces, I like to clamp them, put the bulldog clips on, stops them from moving around, helps me cut straight lines. I'm going to cut this right down the middle. You see I've marked it. That's 4 inches from each side. Actually, it's 4 inches from this side, about 4 1/8 over this side. So I'll just trim that up a bit. I've got to trim up the top here. It's uneven, but I used a quilter's square to get this right angle. So I know that that's right. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. I've got to buy myself a new pair of scissors tomorrow when I go shopping. This is painful. Alrighty then. So we've got 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4 inches. Too much here. I'm going to put a dotted. Okay, you might see by this I've got my sewing machine set up here ready. Okay, so I've worked out that's at the 8 inches. Whoops. That's the 8 inches that I need from there to there. Cut off that dotted line after I've sewed it onto the fabric because it's easier to cut it off then, just to make sure that you've left yourself enough room. Oh, I've got some glue on there. Alright, I am going to wait a bit for this to completely dry. Then I'll sew around the edges. Sorry, I'll sew the pockets on both sides. So I'll sew the pockets on the inside and then I will be back with you. Okay, and we're back. Now I have glued it. You watch me glue it. I have sewn on the 2 pockets on the inside. Now you'll remember that I said I cut them big so I can trim them off. It's easier to trim it than to, well, you can't add on. Okay, so because I'm using white, I use my black cutting board and my handy dandy cricket knife. Super sharp, does a wonderful job. Okay. Actually, I'm using the wrong knife, the wrong ruler. Okay, we're back again. Seems to be a recurring problem of mine. My iPad ran out of space again. So I've just spent the last hour taking over 1,000 books off my iPad. I don't have time for reading now. Too busy with other stuff. Oh, I'm very close to the stitching there. Now, I've been asked quite a few times by customers and friends, why do I glue when I do vinyl covers? Why do I glue them when I'm... Oh, where's my other ruler? No, it's gone. Lost it. It'll be around somewhere. Why do I bother to glue my planners when I'm going to stitch them? The simple answer is, I'll show you when I'm finished this part. The simple answer is they last longer. Gluing them in the centre here makes them firmer. They're not as easily damaged. They don't buckle. Oops, I think I took that a bit close. Oh no. When you glue it, it's pliable, but it's stronger in through the middle. As I said, it doesn't buckle, stops it from buckling, stops it from coming apart. The stitching, it doesn't really need the stitching, but I like to stitch it just in case. I don't glue the pockets on the inside, I only stitch those in. That way you've got the full depth of the pocket to use. Okay, so that's okay. Oh, I have gone too close to the stitching here. I'll just have, once I've done it, I'll finish the tutorial. Once I finish the tutorial, I'll just run a line of stitching along there. I've cut it a little bit too close all the way along. Well, not all the way. I'm not the best sewer in the world, so here is fine between here and here, but I've gone to out of whack over that side. The rest of it is perfectly good. Now, with the cricket blades, always put the lid back on, otherwise you slice yourself open. I talk from experience. Ripped a lovely piece out of my hand a while ago. Took ages to heal up. Best part about it is I got out of doing the dishes for a long time. Okay, so that's where I went a bit close with the stitching. Everywhere else is fine. I have the 2 pockets. So next step is to, come here. No, I won't use that. I'll use my Cricut too. To do the holes. So we'll measure those out now. Now I always measure them on the inside because I put a dot of ink. That one's no good. Have to use the big one. Alright, so we have 13 1/4. That's alright. That's okay. So about 1/4 of an inch in from the edge. 13 1/4 is 6 1/2. 6 5/8 is the centre. Now I'm putting 4 holes across the top, not 3. So 6 5/8 is right. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3/8. And 1, 2, 3/8. All right. So there's my 4 marks. I'll show you in a moment. 4 marks. You know, I always put the holes 3/8 of an inch apart. Okay, so we turn that over. Yep, that's right, sorry. Second guessing myself, just had to double check. Right, 1/4 of an inch in. And, yep, 13 1/4 is 6 5/8. Yes, 6 5/8. I should write this down. 6 5/8. So go there, 2, 3 there, 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3 there. Okay. Now the little one for the centre elastic goes halfway between there and halfway between there. So we have 7, close enough to 7 1/4. Yep. So 3 1/2, 3 5/8 is for the centre one. Okay, so I have, can you see it? Yes, you can just see it. My 4 dots there. One in the centre, 4 there, and 4 there. Okay, now I'll show you while I've got it here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick it up. Just along here I've stitched it too close to the edge. And along that side. Well, I haven't stitched it too close to the edge. I cut it too close to the edge. But as I said, I can fix that. There's never any bad things in craft. There's just problems you haven't fixed yet. So I'm using the 1/8 hole on my Crocodile 2. from Memory Keepers, 1 hole, got a bit of line stuck there. There we go. That's the first time that's happened. 2, 3, and 4. Centre hole, 5. Turn it round. 6. Why is that getting stuck under there? Probably because I'm still slightly damp. The glue's not quite gone off. What are we up to? 6, 7, 8, 9. Wonderful. So, trim that up. That's good. They're all good. So there's my holes. Now I'm going to get my white elastic out, obviously, because I'm using the white vinyl. Don't laugh at the mess of my roll of elastic. Look at it. Isn't that horrible? And I keep saying I'm going to sort it out, but I never get around to it. So I lost the end cap off there. Alright, now I don't bother measuring it out. Pull off a lot, thread it, cut it, tie it, and then wind up where it is wind it back on. So it doesn't really matter where you start, so long as it's one of the middle 2 holes. Either end, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go first off. The ends of this tend to fray. So I just burn it off a bit. It makes it easier for when you're threading it as well. 1. Oh. Let me get this out of the way. Alright, so then we've gone in there, through there, down, and back, 1 string. We go back where we started. If you pull it to the side, it sort of elongates the hole, makes it easier to put it through. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull quite a bit more through because I'm doing 6 strands. I'm going to town tomorrow and I'm going to get my nails done. They are horrible. I tend to neglect them a lot. Okay, so we've just gone backwards and forwards along till we have 4 strands. Now we've got to come back ready to tie off there. So we go back in, as I said, pull on the cord to the side. It elongates the hole, makes it easier to get that through. So, gone up there, now I'm coming back. I feel like I'm all thumbs today. Okay, so we've got 5. Oops, that's a bit tight, it's long. I tend to take it 1 inch to 1.5 inches past the centre hole. Okay, so now I'll just backtrack all this with the excess. Try not to pull it too tight so that it doesn't buckle up. Otherwise, the strands of elastic are just way too big, because they are. This elastic's fairly firm, but I know my gold elastic is very pliable. I'm trying to find a nice word to say for slack. Yep, pliable's a good word. It's very pliable. And you end up with very loose strings and your books don't sit right. It's just a mess. Alright, so I've just gone through, I've strung it. I have 5 strands there. 1, 2 in that one, 3, 4, 5. These 2 are both on here. Take that one about 1.5 inches past centre. There we go. Oh dear. Great. Okay, so that part's done. So I'm just going to check all my strands, make sure they're not too tight. Nope. So we tie that one off. Pull it tight. Now you can undo these and reuse them, but as I said, I'm pretty rough on my planners and they're normally not much chop afterwards. So now the centre one. Now some people tie a loose knot, pull it through. I go about 1 inch either side of there, measure that and cut. Then I'm going to hide my jumble of white elastic, put it over there out of the way. Now I tie that in a loose knot towards the end, and we go through the centre hole. Now it makes a difference when you've got books in, which I'll put in shortly. That's not too bad, it's a little bit tight, but with the weight of the books that I'm going to put in here, yeah, I might loosen it off just a tad, not too much. Whoop, I think that was too much. Okay, I've tightened it up now. Oh my goodness, get in there. Got it. Okay. Yep, that should be good. That should be very good. Yep. So it's not buckling it up. Sitting nice and firm. There we go. Now I do make all my own inserts, and once the web page is up and running, I will be selling these from our store, our virtual store. Now when I make my books, I don't bind them. I always put plain paper in because I like to do a lot of drawings and designs and things. So I've just put There you go, there's some of my drawings in there. I just put a piece of cardstock on it, and I put a piece of acetate over it. Helps to protect it a little bit. So we will put that in the last one. We'll start from the other end. Nope. Start from the beginning. Alright, now I'm a terrible list maker. I make lists for everything. There's my shopping list for tomorrow. As I said, I make my own books, designed them, so that they have a lovely border, just makes them more presentable. So, once again, I haven't stapled it because it's a shopping list. I take it out when I'm done. And then what else do we have? Just a ruled notebook. If I'm come up with something that I might like to make, put in my shop, take to the markets, goes in here. Then we have month on 2 pages. I don't bother doing a weekly for myself because I'm a shopping planner. But I do a monthly calendar. So I'll take this one off because it's got all my stuff written on it. So it has the month here, undated. You can put whatever month you want. Important dates such as power bill, car services, things like that. Now monthly goals, they're things that I plan to do, like washing the walls in the spare bedroom. Rarely gets done, but sometimes I do it. So they're my monthly goals, things I would like to do, but they're not a necessity. Things to do this month, now they're the things I have to do. They tend to be things that I make for my shop, or pay the bills, or go to the dentist, anything like that. And then also down the bottom here is birthdays. I'd write in there each birthday. It's my mother-in-law's birthday this month. So I write birthdays in, whether I've got them a card, a present, or I just need to make a phone call. Friends, family, everyone goes in there. Now it is printed on both sides. Once again, not stapled. That way you can move it around. Once I'm finished with 1 month, because I write things on there such as bill pays and bills being paid, and my developed website, upload the planners, photos of the planners. Because I write things like that in here, I keep them. So once this month is over, I'll put it to the back and start another one. This one's still current, so I'm going to leave it there. And that can go in there. Right, next. Now this is a new one. Oops, it's on a jump band. This is a new one that I've just done today. Now, I printed it out and then thought, oh, I can make it better than that. And then put a border around it. Not happy with the way it is at the moment. I will be working on it further. But this is my YouTube tracker. It's not for necessarily my tutorials, but I do watch other... Oh, goodness, that's bad. I'll fix that. I do watch other people. Some of the people that I love to watch is KPS by Louisa. No. SKP? PKS? No. Kitty Scrap. Yeah. KSP by Louisa. Love her. I have learned a lot from her over the years. I enjoy while I'm busy. I often have her on in the background. Look at that mess. What a mess. No, get another one. There we go. That'll do. I do enjoy watching Louisa. She is very good at what she does. Her tutorials are very informative, and actually I'm quite upset that she's not going to be doing any tutorials. She said she's not doing any more tutorials. I enjoy watching her tutorials. So I write a list of the people that I watch and whether I've watched them, when I've watched them, and just a quick note of what it was about. So, and I also do write my tutorials in there as well. So that goes there. And then last but not least is my folder. Once again, it does have acetate. I have a pen loop on it, on the edge, so I don't lose it. I'm notorious for losing pens. Once again, have acetate on it to protect it. It also helps to stiffen it up so that if you're making a note while you're out, you have all this acetate in there to lean on. So it stiffens it up so when you to make it. Now, I do tend to do 6 pockets, but I find for myself I only need 4. So there's 4 pockets in my folder. I will do a tutorial on how they're made. Okay, and this is something I've only just started doing. It's a card holder. It holds 1, 2, 3. Oops, that one doesn't go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It does. Okay. It holds 8 cards. I can expand it to do 16 cards on that part, but I find I don't need it. I have a wallet, and most of my important cards are in that. These are things like Costco, the golf club, Velocity, Medicare, lay-by cards, things like that. Okay, so that goes in there, ending with this. So, as you can see, it is quite chunky. I don't mind a chunky book. I like it. I like a chunky book. But there is room there for expansion, and trust me, by the time I'm finished with it, it will be very thick. Now, put in a super duper paper clip. What else have I got for in here? Oh, I make charms, charmed angles. Learnt this from Louisa, KPS by Louisa. Also, I think Scrap the World, Tamika from Scrap the World does this as well. Another one I like to watch is Scrimping Mummy. scrimpingmummy.com.uk. She's hilarious. I love her giggle. So I put that there, or you can put it on here. I do tend to put something on here. It's easy to grab to pull it off when you're taking that off. What have I got? Nothing here at the moment. Carabine. That's not very nice. This book does go with me everywhere, and I have been known to put my earrings on here. Oh, got nothing here in front of me. My goodness, that's horrible. No, I don't like the carabine. Take that off. I'll just put these on here for the moment. So the only reason I put things on there, it just makes it easier to grab to pull this off. All right, so that's my 6-string planner, white vinyl, inside pockets with my own planner inserts. That one I'm still working on. I am currently working on my website and a Facebook page. I'm also working on some stickers. I like to dabble in making stickers, and since I've got my Cricut, it has made it so easy. Oh, let me get this on. It's a bit chunky, but I don't mind chunky. I'm a chunky type of person. Just ask my husband. All right. No, I don't like that either, but I'll find something to put on there. It's cute. It is cute. I could use that as the dangle. I could. Okay, so this is a B6. That's a smaller B6. It's only 4 strands. Here is my home planner. Oh, look at that. Butterfly, put that on there. Here's my home planner. This stays at home. It has all my bills and things in it, and my receipts, so I can keep track of how much I've spent. It is an A6 size, so you can see the difference in size for that. And here is my smaller A6 that I take to the markets. This one also has inserts that I've designed to track my sales when I'm at the markets. What else have I got? And that's all I've got. I also make B7s, which are smaller than this. So I make the B7, the A6, the B6. They're the 3 size planners that I make. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you next time.